Ozarks and Rogersville, happy Monday morning. We're here again with Roy Rickstrew, the disability guru. We're talking about timing is everything, and we'll tell you what that means right after this.
I want to be your disability rep.
And we are back. Thanks for showing up again, Roy. I always appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad to do it.
You come in, let's do a show. That's good. Did you have a big weekend?
Well, we went car shopping most of the weekend, which I would honestly rather take a beating than go car shopping.
Oh, would you now?
I would.
Yeah, well,
I hate it.
I don't know. It can be fun. Do you get into the haggling over the price?
Oh, not a whole lot. I'm kind of a no-nonsense type of guy when it comes to that, and it's I'm either willing to do it or I'm not, and they're either willing to do it or they're not.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it. I'm not going to sit there for hours trying to do something. I either like the deal or I don't. But
Somehow, even if you like the deal, it still takes hours, and that's the part that always amazes me.
That is kind of frustrating. Well, and it's the after sale upsell.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember when I bought a truck, I basically paid cash as far as the dealer was concerned, right? They got a check, and they're like, well, now you got to go meet their finance guy. I'm like, why do I have to go meet your finance guy? I mean, I'm not financing anything. Oh, well, it's part of it. And it was just, oh, well, you can buy this extended warranty. You can buy this, buy. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, you got to kick out of having to sign that I promised to have insurance when I paid cash for the car. It's like, what difference does it make to you? I mean, it's wise to have it, but what difference does it make to you?
Well, it is the law, but it's not their law to enforce, so they do what they want. But anyway, they didn't come here they're not watching to hear us talk about how to buy a car, are they? They want to hear about disability. So what do you mean when you say timing? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, so timing kind of is important with the Social Security program for a couple different reasons. One, when you file for Social Security disability, they look at the last time that you worked or were attached to the workforce. And they call this our date last insured. And the date last insured reflects two different things. One, reflects that we worked 40 quarters in our lifetime. The second is that we've worked roughly 4 out of the last 10 years. And so the timing becomes very important when you file for Social Security. If you become disabled and you wait too long, you run out of insured status, and then you have no account to draw against. So that's one way that timing is real important for us.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Is there any reason to wait?
No, not really. A lot of folks just kind of are reluctant to file from the program. A lot of people still believe that it's a welfare program, even though we worked and paid into it forever. A lot of people still kind of have that stigma attached to it, and they just simply don't want to file.
Well, no, I understand that too. We run into that all the time. I don't ever do personal injury. I'd say that. I mean, I've dabbled in it a little bit, and I work with lawyers that do, and people say, well, I don't want to sue. I'm like, wait a minute. You've paid insurance premiums your entire life. You're required by law, as we just talked about, to pay for insurance. And now when it's time to actually make the insurance company pay, provide the product, which they have forced upon all of us, you don't want to sue?
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's always interesting. I tell folks, I say, man, you're just the perfect Social Security payer.
Yeah.
Because, hey, you pay into the thing for 30 years and you never ask anything of it. I mean, that's that's a fantastic one-sided relationship there.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Other thing with timing, of course, is when you file for disability, they have to evaluate your medical records, be able to understand what's wrong with your condition. I hate to tell people to wait until they get that MRI or they get that CT scan, but there is some benefit to it. We want to make sure that if you have big markers coming up in your records, that you have the benefit of those things being available for review.
Yeah, and again, the analogy to the personal injury realm is pretty strong there, because if you're injured in a car accident, you have 5 years to bring your lawsuit in court. You have 5-year statute of limitations, and yet the insurance companies always want to settle quick. Oftentimes, before those secondary diagnoses have come up, oh, wait a minute, it was obvious that you broke all those bones. It wasn't as obvious that you are going to have a long-term disability with something else. And if the insurance company can get you to settle quick and sign that waiver, then they're off the hook for all that potentially lifelong injury that you've suffered.
Social Security is a very optimistic group over there too when we talk about medical conditions. You mentioned breaking all the bones. Social Security watches for markers that you've gotten better. And people are disabled for a period of time and they improve. And you think about things that we see pretty often, knee replacements, hip replacements, etc. You can have major dysfunction of a weight-bearing joint with instability and then go in and get a surgery, and all of a sudden you start to regain stability. And so you can go from being a disabled person to a non-disabled person. Another thing you see with folks that have chronic AFib, their injection fraction can be really low on their heart functioning, but after they get corrective procedures, it improves greatly. And so if you wait too long in the cycle, you show improvement, and then you're not declared disabled any longer. And a lot of people don't know is that Social Security will evaluate a closed period. And so you can go in and say, hey, look, I was disabled from here to here, and I'd like to be paid for that, even though you may have gotten considerably better after the fact.
So bottom line, what is it we need to do? Talk to your ASAP, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Timing again is everything, and ASAP is the timing issue here.
Well, I've told people this in other cases before. Just because you start the process doesn't mean you have to finish it. And so if you're unsure about whether you want to proceed, or maybe believe that you're reluctant to proceed, give you a call, right? And get the details and find out the skinny.
Yeah, I'm an approachable guy, and I give a lot of free advice out to people. You and I talk about your case and give you some pointers and tips. Social Security denies you, because they do a lot of times. Then you think about that guy that gave you tips and tricks in the beginning, and you come back and see me. And so, I dispense a lot of free information.
Well, I know you and I bounce a lot of stuff off of each other, and that's it's a lot of fun when we're talking off camera, so I appreciate that. If you want to get a hold of Roy, he's got a website, yourdisabilityrep.com, yourdisabilityrep.com, disabilityrep.com, or I know your main number, 882-1800, 417-882-1800.
Yeah.
Do you have that direct line memorized yet?
I do, 417-812-6698. That's 417-812-6698. Ring straight to my desk. I'll be back up there in 15-20 minutes, and give me a ring.
All right, we look forward to seeing you soon. Stay tuned for Rodney McCann. He's going to be right here with Plugged In right after this.
I want to be your disability rep.